the UFC, Dana White would say, let's get this thing started. So without any further ado, President, Ultimate Fighting Championship, Dana White.
Hello, everybody. Finally here. Very excited, obviously, to be here in Toronto. We've been waiting for this for so long. Such a huge market for us, and we always knew that it would be big, and we knew that when we came here, it had the potential to be the biggest ever. And obviously, the last time that I was here doing the press conference, I wasn't very cocky about how many tickets we were going to sell. My question always was, we sold 23,000, which was the most we'd ever done up in Montreal, and my big question was how many people really needed tickets besides the 23,000 that were already in the building. Is the number 7,000, which is a huge number? That would put us at 30, and then it ends up, we sell out so fast, 55,000 tickets, and I'm still standing here going, how many people still needed tickets? So it's pretty amazing, and the other thing that we said when we did finally come here is that we would bring a great card. And I'm very happy and very pumped and excited for Saturday night to bring the card that we brought beyond the gentlemen who are sitting up here right now at the podium. Randy Couture, Lyoto Machida. I'm going to start with Couture. Let me start with Randy Couture. Hall of Famer, legend, won more titles, than anybody. The guy it never ends. And, the big theme for this thing has been, Randy says this is his last fight and he's going to retire. And I want to clear something here with Randy. The press started calling me and saying, what do you think about Randy Couture retiring? And my answer to that was, I've heard this before. And I've actually seen it before. And who knows? And when right now and before he had this fight, I think that people started not respecting Randy Couture and that they don't have him ranked in the top 10. And I've been the one that's been saying, this guy is one of the top 10 in the world. Don't care what anybody says, he can go out there and beat anybody in the top 10 on any given day. And Randy Couture is absolutely 100% a top 10 light heavyweight in the world, and he's going up against another top 10 light heavyweight in the world, Lyoto Machida. Lyoto Machida has been dominating for a long time, and has had a couple bumps in his career. This is a big fight for both guys. I expect fireworks. Couture's the master of going out there and figuring out a game plan to beat anybody with any style. And Lyoto Machida has proven that he has the style to do a lot of damage and knock people out. So, will Randy Couture retire, win, lose, or draw after this fight? We'll see. The second fight, Jose Aldo versus Mark Hominick. Mark Hominick has been around for a while. Nasty little well-rounded fighter, came out and proved in his last fight how bad he wanted this title shot. Made easy, quick work of Roop, and this kid, one of my buddies were talking about this fight. This is such a fun fight. Not only is it a great fight for this city, obviously, because your hometown hero will be fighting for the title, and against one of the top 3 pound-for-pound best in the world. This kid is technically sound. He's a vicious fighter. He's well-rounded, great hands. Going to be very interesting. Jose Aldo came bursting onto the scene, came from the WEC as the champion, and this guy, when everybody realized that this kid was one of the pound-for-pound best in the world, was what he did to Uriah Faber. This kid's kicks are lethal. When he kicks you in the legs or anywhere else, you're in big trouble. I think that this is a very exciting fight, and I'm very pumped for the co-main event. And obviously the main event, Jake Shields versus George St. Pierre. Now obviously, a lot of people didn't know Jake Shields before this fight. But Jake Shields has been around for a long time. This guy's won 5 world titles. and you ask anybody in the world who knows anything about mixed martial arts, who has ever trained or been anywhere near Jake Shields, will tell you that this is a very, very dangerous fight for George St. Pierre. And I think the only one that's really been screaming that the loudest has been George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre has a lot of respect for his skills, knows what kind of fighter he is, and I'm not plugging here, I'm just saying, check out tonight, primetime, George St. Pierre versus Jake Shields. Tonight's episode has some very interesting things in it. This is going to be an incredible fight, and obviously, no introduction needed for George St. Pierre. This guy has been an incredibly dominant fighter in mixed martial arts and in the UFC. I've said it many times. He's the most famous athlete to ever come out of Canada. And you couldn't ask for a better representative for your country, for the UFC title, and for the sport of mixed martial arts.